Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host, Brian Moses. He's still lovely. He might be too hot for the camera, I hear. That's what I'm told. But, Tubby, today we're talking about... this episode, we ordered a LumenPNP open source pick and place machine.
That's exciting.
We ordered that about... I'm going to say it's almost 8 weeks ago. I don't know if it was really 8 weeks ago. See You Diane ordered us new OoberLights piece. Well, he didn't order. I ordered them, but he designed the new PCBs.
The latest.
A put together one. I attempted to manually put together one. It's missing some LEDs. I got the first three LEDs to light up. And in trying to fix the fourth one, I knocked other ones off with the hot air gun. I cannot do this manually. We need the robot.
Aren't you glad we're getting a pick and place machine?
I am so glad we're getting a pick and place machine. I have a tracking number as of this afternoon, and I've got the Opulo video playing over here next to me here, the Lumen pick and place. So I can't show you guys this. Can I bring a tweet up with the OoberLights, Tubby?
I bet you could.
This little guy in the middle here, these LEDs, that is our OoberLights board. And the idea here, this one in the screenshot here that's animating, those purple LEDs are showing you that I have, somewhere a little over 50%, 7 out of 12, 7/12ths of my SSD was full that day. The green LED is how fast my network is downloading. The blue LED is how fast it's uploading. I've got one on there. It's not on this animation, I guess, but I've got a little CPU meter in the middle, in the middle ring. But the idea is to put this in your server, your little home server usually, because that's our audience. And you can get little status updates. And you can plug this into a Raspberry Pi. I'm pretty excited because it's pretty neat, Tubby. What do you think?
That's a super cool project. It's been fun. It's been fun watching you guys design both the hardware and then start thinking of different use cases and the software for it.
I almost dropped that. Did you see that?
I did.
There's one LED soldered on here. How do I block my eyes here? This was cool. See You Diane set this up so that you can chain one board to the next. So you could set up, if you route these right, you can do a grid of...
Yep.
So like you could go bananas. Like if your Raspberry Pi has 4 cores, you could put 4 of them in your Raspberry Pi case, and each one could be a different CPU core if we can write the software to do that.
I could make a badass headband.
Really badass headband. You could put it on there like
do a Larson
the Karate
scanner.
Kid. Yeah. But I'm excited because when See You Diane designed our first board, and he did the math on PCBWay to get these assembled with the LEDs and everything. He said if we order $2,500 worth of boards, we can get them for, $2-3 a board. I was like, I don't want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on something nobody. I don't even know if anybody will buy them. Tubby.
Potentially, yeah. To buy 2,500 of them, and then maybe have to give them all away or not have uses for them.
Yeah,
is a little intimidating.
So instead, we bought a $1,200 pick and place machine that's going to live behind me over here for now. And which will still be worth $1,200 in a month when we can't figure out how to work it and nobody wants to buy these things.
It'll be worth more because it's assembled.
That could be true. That could very well be true. And the PCBs were inexpensive. I think I paid $120 for this big stack of, I think there's 200 or 250 OoberLights boards in here. And the LEDs are cheaper than PCBWay got them to us for. It's all fantastic. All the numbers are fantastic. I only bought enough LEDs to make like 40 boards, though. I didn't do the math. But
40 boards is...
It's a good number to start with. And we'll be able to get more LEDs. That won't be too much trouble. They're little NeoPixels. They're easy to work with. How do I block both my eyes? There we go. But we don't have a lot to update you on yet, except that the machine's shipped. We have PCBs. We have LEDs. I have solder paste. I'm all ready to start failing over the next few weeks.
Follow Pat's Head Com and Brian C. Moses on Twitter.
Oh, I could put those up on the screen here.
I'm sure we'll be talking. I'm sure we'll be sharing some of our
shenanigans,
lessons learned, shenanigans, assembling the kit, and then creating the first few sheets of.
Yep. There's a box of
OoberLights.
3D printed parts. You don't just spend $1,200 on the kit. You have to print the parts on your 3D printer. And that's about a spool of filament worth of stuff. I know Brian kept a log of exactly how long everything took. And it was... I know about how long it takes to print a spool of filament. It's days.
Yep. It was fun.
But we compared this, I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here, but we compared this to $10,000 pick and place machines, which are 2 to 4 times faster than what we're buying. But geez, we'd have to sell a lot of boards to pay for a $10,000 machine.
And maybe we will.
Oh, that's exciting. I hope we do. But this is kind of cool because we can make, I'm going to get in the weeds again, Tubby. God bless it. It's happening. But like these boards have 21 pixels, and I say there's 3 rings, but technically the middle ring is just one. It's just the one dot, right?
It's a ring of one.
A ring of one. But we could add another layer. We could go one. This onion can go bigger. And that would be a bummer if we had to order them assembled from PCBWay, because CU Dine would tell me, oh yeah, if you want to get those, now you're going to have to spend $3,000 to get them for $2, $3, $4 per board.
Yeah.
And then we'd have 2 different sizes that we've spent $6,000 total on, and we'd have to sell them. And I don't know that $6,000 worth of people would buy them. But now we could just buy $100 worth of PCBs and assemble them as we need them. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, neat. Tashar is using, I would love to see, Tashar, if you send me some video of that, I will put it in this public, only if you want me to. I don't want to steal your video. But I would be happy and excited to put your NeoPixel indicators in the video, and Tashar in our chat is telling us about he's doing something with NeoPixel strips for server monitoring.
That's exciting,
isn't it? I think that's neat. Oh, I'll bet they're not ugly.
Tashar's saying he thinks they're ugly.
Well, you know what I want to show you, Tashar, is, oh my gosh. Oh, you've got one too. Tashar, this fits in a 5 1/4 inch optical drive bay. And it has one extra layer of LEDs compared to, and the final one of this was going to have a 3rd ring in the middle. So all sorts of LEDs but then the pandemic happened, and all the shortages of parts happened, and that's going to be way too expensive to make because we couldn't get it with the microcontroller and all the power hardware.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer. But I think I like where we're going anyway. I like the new direction with the smaller, simpler boards. Don't mix this up with the previous prototypes, Tubby. That's something I have to remember. But I think that's an episode. What do you think, Tubby?
I think that's an episode too.